So Adam Silver was recently a guest on KG Certified. Obviously with Kevin Garnett. Go and check out his podcast. It's amazing basketball content, right? So they were chopping it up about the game, what they like, what they dislike, and more specifically the physicality or the lack of physicality that we can have in today's league. Kevin Garnett came in the league in the late 90's, early 2000. And it was still an era when you had a lot of rough riders out there. You were able to defend, apply a lot of pressure, physicality, and everything, right? A little bit unlike what we have today, in which you touch a guy, it's immediately a foul, a lot of flapping and everything. So Adam Silver gave a pretty interesting take about the state of the game, and he said that he believed that in the 90's, by the late 90's, the game had gotten way too physical, and that the fans weren't really happy with the show that the players were able to put on display, and that skill was not at the forefront just because of the physicality and all of the stuff that you were able to do to actually stop an offensive player. And to some degree, I agree with that, but I do think that there needs to be a balance. To me, the best era when it comes to basketball, as far as physicality, was from I want to say the mid 2000s to the late 2000s. So from 03, 05 type stuff until 2010, 2012 type basketball. You had a lot of two-way players, people who were actually taking pride into impacting the game on both hands. And the Kobe's, the LeBrons at the time, the D Wades, the KGs, and I can keep going, right? Them kind of players, Tim Duncan, everyone, right? But now that art is kind of lost, and for the regular season, you barely see it. Even the tough defenders now, they can't really lock up like that, just because of the way the game has been called. And in the playoffs, you sometimes see it, but some players will flat out not even try, and it kind of takes away from the merit that some of the players, when we had 9 players dropping 30 a game this season, so it kind of shows that I know the players are getting better, but 30 points a game is supposed to be something. Now, if you have 9 to 10 players, if not more, next season going up for 30 on the night and 90 and night out basis, it says something about the game. So I just wanted to say that, but I really wanted to touch on one point that the commissioner had about Stephen Curry in particular. He said, "We made some changes this season from the aesthetic enjoyment of the game, where he de-emphasized the particular skill a player had and maybe weighted too heavily physicality, where a big, strong player could come in and prevent an incredibly skilled player from doing those kind of things. I think of not that he's a small guy, but a smaller player like Stephen Curry can do on the floor, right? His ability to shoot, his ability to move through the paint, that if guys could just bang him and knock him to the ground, as that was once the case in the league, I do not think that would be a better brand of basketball." So he pretty much implied that if Stephen Curry played in the 90's or in that era when the physicality was that, it wouldn't be Stephen Curry. And that's interesting, first of all, that the commissioner himself would say that. He didn't mean no disrespect, but he said what he said, though. And I agree and I disagree at the same time, because I think that for Stephen Curry in particular, right, when you shoot that well and when you are consistently running, the stamina that he has, I think is unmatched in the league. So I still don't see defenders being able to just run with Stephen Curry the whole game, being run through screens, tougher screens than what we have right now, and be able to contain him for a whole game. So I think Stephen Curry will still be Steph Curry. It'd be just fine. He'd probably be a little bit more injury prone, just because the physicality, I don't know that his body can take it like that, but he'll still be fine. He'll get his stuff off. It's other guards, though, like the one who are really playing on ball all the time, and that really need that space to get their stuff off, like the James Hardens, the Dame Lillards, the Kyries, Who else? You know, all the point guards like that, that really ball dominant and everything, and that a lot of times get carried by the refs. The Trey Young, that stuff. They just would not be able to get this stuff off. They would still be in the NBA. They would still be okay, but there wouldn't be no superstars in the 90s. I do agree with that. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that and to start that conversation. Do you believe Stephen Curry would be Stephen Curry if he were to play in the 90s or not? And yeah, man, get in the comment section and give me your thoughts. If yes, he would, or if no, he wouldn't. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.